No, just to catch that thing, the why we're it's the energy that we have right now is getting rid of the big dick energy.
Yeah.
Although, really, I've heard big dick energy is good.
That's
because small dick energy is bad. Like any Republican man reacting to Kamala Harris's badassedness last night. Hardcore small dick energy.
They are not happy.
No. That's fun. So we're live right now. I'm going to play the intro now because we've said all the funny things before that you're not going to hear unless you come back and listen to it later on. There's nothing really. Every once in a while we think about maybe doing that. But yeah, we're going live today. We're tossing stuff back and forth this morning as we do. Which
Lots
ends
of
up being
fly memes.
Right. Which ends up being show prep. And I was like, we got more than enough to do a show today. And the news is just going to keep happening. So why don't we go live? And Greg said yes. So I'm going to play the intro and then we're going to play a little song that is going to make everyone very happy. So get your shares out while you can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is going to happen now.
I'm so glad I thought it
was. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the honey drippers in the house tonight. And they just got back from Washington, D.C. I think they got something they want to say.
So Ginny came up with two good replacements: infect the president and evict the president.
Yeah. Ah,
I tend to fade on this. That's a really nice sax solo, though.
right?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I mean, we're probably gonna get kicked off YouTube and Facebook for this, but I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it's
just-
that kind of day.
It needed
Wouldn't
to
that be
happen.
hilarious if we got kicked off 20 days before the election?
That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny.
We might have to show up in person and talk to people. Oh,
Right?
which has a whole new
Yeah.
antisocial meaning now. Ain't no flies on me, boys. That's an old folk song.
Yeah.
He was
Okay.
already impeached.
Do you want to look at a bunch of screenshots and memes,
Yes.
or
Oh.
Pete Buttigieg nuking Fox News?
I like that one too.
Okay.
Why don't we do both?
Well, we can't do both at the same time.
No, well, you pick one, and we'll do the
I
other.
kind of want to watch Pete Buttigieg again.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know if you guys caught this, but
If you have, watching it again is not going to hurt your feelings.
nope.
Okay.
Got the volume on thing.
I believe so.
Back to my original
Did you hear that?
Yep.
Okay.
question about the things that, when you run for president, you have a record on all of these issues. And then we've seen that record and her stance on them changing over time. So there's no doubt she's going to be asked about that tonight. Can you give us some insight into what she might say to justify why she was for Medicare for all then and is not for it now, for example?
Well, there's a classic parlor game of trying to find a little bit of daylight between running mates. And if people want to play that game, we could look into why an evangelical Christian like Mike Pence wants to be on a ticket with the president caught with a porn star, or how he feels about the immigration policy that he called unconstitutional before he decided to team up with Donald Trump. If folks want to play that game, we could do it all night. But I think what most Americans want to hear about is who's going to be better protected than they have been by this president who's failed to secure America in the face of one of the most dangerous things ever to happen to our country.
Pause.
Will
Shit.
Whoop. Well, that happened.
We could also ask about how an evangelical Christian anti-abortion activist vice president feels about the president, his miracle cure, including aborted fetal cell tissue.
That's a real thing. There's articles up that
It's verified.
The stuff that went into making his experimental stop doing that. His experimental thing actually did come from an abortion. So I'm sure he's fine with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole thing.
I don't envy the limbo and hoops you have to jump through now to continue to support this president without pulling muscles. Yeah. Truth over flies.
Truth over flies. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I think I might need to buy that.
Yeah, Fred, it's
So
it's
good.
whataboutism, but it's such good whataboutism. Yeah, I did not know this until late last night that pink eye is a symptom of COVID.
Yeah. I just wanted to share this because Kamal Nanjiani is just he's just a treasure.
Yeah.
I like this guy, but yeah. So that pink eye thing, or blood clot, whatever, apparently goes along with the smell of death to prove that he's got COVID and tracks flies. This one is just good.
Yeah, I will do what I can, Ginny. I saw it this morning. I did not make a note of I hadn't seen this one.
This one might be my favorite one. Oh, it's so good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, did you see Wood's comment? They've sold out of the fly swatter. God
I'm
damn
not
it.
at all surprised.
God damn it.
Yeah, Donna's wondering about the about the Pence pink eye thing. She thought it was just from having his head so far up Trump's ass.
I mean, this also makes sense, but that would also probably get you COVID somehow. So there you go.
Well, you know the difference in a brown nose and a shithead, right? Depth perception.
I didn't even care that you had that one queued up. I'm here for it.
Oh boy, I like this one. This is my favorite.
Action figure.
That's his
Contents
head fly.
one fly. Apparently death by toys, just like the real thing. Fun for all ages. Good job. This one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, because the aviators kind of look like fly eyes. That's pretty good.
So yeah, I'm not going to waste my time in a virtual debate. It's ridiculous, and then they cut you off whenever they want. So news on that. The debate was going to go virtual because one of them is a dumb fuck who got COVID through every fault of his own. And then he doesn't want to do the debate virtually because they might turn him off, which of course is how they should do that anyway. They should just like, now you have 2 minutes, now you have 2 minutes, now you have 2 minutes. But he can't interrupt and be a shithead. So yeah, he's gonna go home. Other theories about why he doesn't want to do the debate. The last time he did a debate, he dropped 3 points from 10 to 13 nationally and got COVID. So it's not really probably a positive memory for him. Also, 55% of the people in the country fucking hate his guts. So
And I don't know how this turned out, but I saw last night that they were close to breaking a fundraising record after Kamala's performance in the debate.
nice.
And Joe raised a record amount of money after the first debate.
Jesus. Okay, I heard from my mom and a couple other places that Trump was having a meltdown. Thank you, Siobhan. Apparently, Trump saying Gold Star families gave him COVID-19.
Well, that was he basically the other day on Fox News said that it was all the soldiers and law enforcement that gave Hope Hicks COVID because they had that ceremony where there were soldiers in the West Wing.
Right, where they ignored every single protocol they had.
Yes.
Fucking clown.
And infected the Joint Chiefs of Staff and other military officers because he
out.
cares. He cares, Corey, about our military personnel.
Right. So yeah, Act Blue's processed close to $9 million from the start of the debate until now. Total amount the night of Kamala Harris VP performance could actually end up raising more for Joe Biden's campaign than the night of his debate with President Trump. Not too surprised by that. So Mike Pence's fly has a Twitter account. And this was one of the
something like 40,000 followers last time I checked last night.
Whoa. Yeah, he got retweeted by the Lincoln Project, and that kind of sent things flying, as it were. So this is a little bit older, but this is kind of fun. This is until the 5th, up 11 in Florida. This is only one poll, but still, Pennsylvania up a ton, Iowa up a ton. So yeah, man,
yeah, things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about that last night's race is they needed to score a knockout punch to make a difference, and they didn't. Say the very, very least. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we gain 1 or 2 points off that as well.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious that that anything he might have said that was memorable is now eclipsed by the fly that landed on his head. I can't even. I'm old enough to remember Where's the Beef and Dan Quayle not being able to spell potato. I've seen all sorts of debate moments. I've never seen anything like what happened last night. It was perfect. It was just the perfect metaphor for our time.
Senator Rand Paul literally last night during the debate said the deep state planted a bug on VP. The illegal spying is really out of control.
Do you think he was kidding?
I think that he's playing to his psychotic fucking base. Do I think he believes that? No.
No, I think he was being sarcastic, though.
Dude, they're being sarcastic when QAnon makes up 20% of their fucking base.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a dog whistle to dummies now that is very, very real. Ted Cruz does it all the time now, too.
Yeah. Hey, Donna, the polls don't mean squat unless people actually get out and vote. Do you have that graph handy?
Yeah, the one where people are getting out to vote.
Graph? Yeah, in like exponentially larger numbers than 2016.
Screw it. Mike Pence in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I mean, It's definitely an improvement.
Virginia, I've yet to have somebody explain to me how they believe Pence won. She smiled too much. She was grinning, and that was irresponsible. It wasn't very presidential. Unlike, lying incessantly the entire time she was on stage.
Anyone who says one word about how Kamala didn't do that perfectly can fuck themselves. I'm not gonna have any time for it. She was good.
Yeah, and by the way, Dave, that tweet by Brennan went up before the debate was over. That happened. He tweeted that during the debate.
I have that up. In debate, Mike Pence lied about handwritten notes of mine from 2016. The referenced unsubstantiated Russian allegation about Secretary Clinton follows DNI Ratcliffe's politicized release of misleading snippets of documents. Russia helped Trump and continues to. Full stop.
Yep. He said that before, and I yelled it out when Pence went there because I heard him say it earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 4 men prepped Pence for the debate with a woman. Imagine that. If you don't look at all the facts, he did really well.
There's a few people like Ben Shapiro and this Tim Pool asshat who calls himself a disaffected liberal, but what he really is a white kid who doesn't get laid, which is bad. They're all saying that Pence completely and totally owned Kamala the entire debate. Like that's like when you're in the bubble, that's all you see, because the words that he said that we all know are completely unsubstantiated bullshit, that they land, right? So like, oh, those are landing, when it really, like, you're in a fantasy bubble. And again,
right,
those people were gonna vote for Trump anyway. Like they moved no one, unless the constant interrupting and being a shithead moved even more women into the Biden-Harris camp.
Every woman I know has experienced what Kamala experienced last night, and they all got to watch Mike Pence treat her like a subservient lesser being. And that's
the moderator helped, right? Like that. I know she was trying, Greg, but like I started like kind of going back and mapping it out, and it wasn't in any way, shape, or form equal. Like she was getting pwned just as much as Kamala Harris was, and wasn't exercising power to stop it. Right? Like every once in a while she would stop, but she would say, please, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Vice President, blah, 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 blah. But then sometimes she would just shut up and let him keep talking for another minute. Right? Like it wouldn't surprise me if Pence had like 30% more time than Kamala Harris in that debate. Not that she needed it, because she didn't.
It was like 62%. She was getting 62% of the time, much like equal pay in our country. So, yeah, I'm speaking was, I think, the line of the night.
Fucking A.
That was good stuff. Well, that's what they're saying. Serious question. Why in the actual fuck do people still give any credence to anything those people say? Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool.
I don't. I just want to say, this is what it sounds like in the bubble. That was the only reason why
that's what they are saying. And frankly, we have our own bubble, right? We have people that are saying things that are supportive when we don't always agree with what we're doing. Like I thought he did score points last night on her record as a district attorney. Now, did he leave a lot of stuff out that was historic and innovative in her tenure as a district attorney, a state attorney? Yeah, absolutely. But there are some problematic concerns with her record of how African Americans were prosecuted in the system nationally, not just in California. And she was part of that system. So that's something we have to grapple with that.
Well, honestly, I think she has a good answer to it.
She modified. Right. She changed her view. Right. She recognizes that wasn't the best thing for African American communities, and has moved on in the same way that Joe Biden is no longer the forced busing guy like he was in the 70s.
Right. So, well, and the whole hey, all we really want to do is give as many cops who are killing black people a shoulder massage, because really, blue lives matter. That's Pence. Fuck you, Pence. Right. Like that. Yeah. And this is where I hesitate to even allow for the false equivalence of the fact that we have our own bubble, right? Because I am looking over Kamala Harris's thing. I know that, right? Like I'm looking over that because it doesn't fucking matter, right? Like right now, if you look at their actual policy platform that they're actually pushing for this actual election, it's everything underneath the defund the police on the defund the police website, right?
Right.
So like
Right.
we're gonna waste time on like something that has context in it in the greater part of her capacity as a prosecutor, where she did a whole lot of really, really amazing and good things. Right. And again, it wasn't perfect, but fuck you, Mike Pence. Like, just that's the second that question comes up, it's like, I think I'm just going to play Pete Buttigieg in my head. Like, hey, if you want to find some distance between two candidates, drops nukes everywhere. Like, that's
anyway. I heard her a few weeks back now explaining the truancy thing. Somebody tried to make an issue of the fact that they were prosecuting adults in the San Francisco Bay Area for their children's school truancy. And that sounds harsh. That's like, it overwhelmingly punished people of color in poor communities, right? But her explanation for that was this. They found out that the victims and the perpetrators of a lot of gang killings were high school kids, junior high school and high school kids, right? A lot of the violence that was happening among kids. And so what they were looking for was a way to save kids' lives. And if we can demand that they go to school, right? If we incentivize the parents to make sure their kids are in school, and they did, they actually dropped the violent crime rate, dropped the number of kids that were being shot over a 2-year period. And I don't, I'm not exactly comfortable with draconian tactics like arresting parents, but it had the net effect of saving children's lives, and it's kind of hard to argue with that. So. Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong there, Dave. They are actually very douchey. Yeah. But douches are wet. And Ben Shapiro apparently thinks that if you have wet genitals and you're a woman, that's a sign of ill health.
What?
Oh, you didn't hear this story?
Is that real?
Oh, it's a real thing. Yeah. I guess about a month ago, he made some sort of comment, because of the wet ass pussy song, right? That's the big, okay. So he basically made some sort of comment. My wife is an OBGYN, and she says if it's wet, that's a sign of ill health. And we're like, does anybody want to tell him that his wife is probably lying to him about that? Yeah. So
that's
he really is. He really is. Yeah. So let's see what else.
Apparently, Buttigieg had a little comment on not debating. Let's check that out. The fact that Pete Buttigieg is going on Fox News and blowing their shit up, it's not hurting my feelings.
Well, that's him leaning in for a cabinet spot.
Okay. I think he should have one.
Well, it's too bad. I don't know why the president's afraid to participate in a debate. All of us have had to get used to virtual formats, right? I mean, parents are having to deal with e-learning, which in some cases, is not what we're used to.
You know what I'm realizing in this second? He's going to lose points for dropping this debate anyway. Because now, just exactly what Pete's just saying right now. By the way, Pete and I are on a first name basis now.
The president's a giant coward?
Well, that obviously is going to play, but he didn't go there, although that's the subtext. It's kind of obvious. He's like, the families all over the country right now are having to do this. And the president, when offered a tiny little bit of inconvenience, just pulls out like a little baby. Right? Good job.
Used to. I mean, we're having to take meetings over Zoom. It's not something I think most of us enjoy, but it's a safety measure. And I think part of why the U.S. is falling behind, is badly behind the rest of the developed world on dealing with the pandemic, is because every time there's been a choice between doing something in a way that's more safe or less safe, this president seems to push for less safe. I think it's also probably a reflection of the weakness of his campaign. When you see campaigns getting the kind of bad news that he's been getting through this month, a lot of times you'll see these kinds of increased arguments over rules, withdrawing from opportunities, a little bit of flame there, and it's too bad, because I think the more the American people candidates side by side, even if it's virtual, the better. Of course, the only reason we're here in the first place is that the president of the United States is still contagious, as far as we know, with a deadly disease, which reflects the overall problem. And I don't know why you would want to be in a room with other people if you were contagious with a deadly disease and you care about other people. But Maybe the president doesn't care about other people.
Well, maybe. Ginny, I actually had that pulled up and then it disappeared. There was a UBI guy that was actually reacting to it, which is interesting. Anyway, but I'll pull that up.
I'll
right
read
now.
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Senator Mike Lee, democracy isn't the objective. Liberty, peace, and prosperity are. We want the human condition to flourish. Rank democracy can thwart that. Really? Saying the quiet parts out loud.
That's exactly it. They are fucking psycho-fascists that don't give a fuck about democracy. They're the ones that when you bring up, oh, the United States is a democracy. No, we're a republic, which has always meant that a small number of shitheads can control as many people as humanly possible because they think that the throngs are just out to get them like a socialist horde because they've been trained that from birth.
Fred with the joke of the day. If he would pull out more often, we wouldn't have to deal with his annoying children.
Hold on. Let me put that up on the thing. And then we're going to have a long-awaited coffee cheers.
Yeah, we've earned this. Yeah. Thank you, Fred. That was good. Zing. Prosperity.
Zing.
I just saw one. Bernie at rally summons bird. Pence at debate. Hold on, I got this. Remember when the bird landed on Bernie's podium? A little bird when Bernie was speaking at a rally in 2016. Corey, you remember this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm grabbing something.
Pence at the debate. Hang on, I got this.
So terrible.
Yeah, I like how quickly people started pulling up the symbolism of flies in literature, in the Bible, in historic context. Flies represent exactly what you think they represent.
Flies and plague, because you're going to come up with a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I did see a meme I like this morning as I would rather try and tear down the two-party system during a capitalist oligarchy than during a fascist regime. Right? That's why I'm voting the way I'm voting is Joe Biden is not my first choice, and we need big systemic change, a la Elizabeth Warren, but we got to get the car out of the ditch first. We can't go to the revolution until we get the car out of the ditch. So here we are. Yeah. I just thought that it was so funny that everything that he might have said of value last night was lost when we all went, is that a fucking fly on his head?
And then it just stayed there forever.
I went back and watched that part of our coverage, and it was a moment. I'm so excited that we got to witness that.
Oh man!
And people are, it's so petty. It totally takes away from the seriousness.
Yeah,
fuck off. Right. I'm sorry. I watched the president of the United States last week. Yeah. Embarrass us all on the world stage by ranting and being an idiot. That's right. Corey reminds us Hillary had a fly too. There was a fly that landed on the side of her nose and was gone very quickly. Yeah, so that's how you know who's going to win the presidency. Yeah. The president. The fly kept his time to 2 minutes. Unlike the vice president. Oh my goodness.
That's just good shit.
Wow. Yep. Okay. What I do like is the draft campaign underway to have Jeff Goldblum play the fly on Saturday Night Live, because they're sure to reference that in the upcoming weeks. So, but I'm all dressed up for a revolution. I know, me too. I got my tri-corner hat on standby.
I got my soup for your family shirt coming. Does that count? Yes, it does. I'm just going to answer my own question. Yes, it does.
I get a message that our shirts have already shipped, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it might take longer. So I'm hoping they get here before the election. Yep. So yeah, and that fly was Pence's only black friend. So,
dude, that also is very funny. In other news, there's a couple science stories that, because we keep saying we're gonna have a science show and then we never do, because we even have to add extra shows because everything is fucking crazy. Starship SN8 has a belly full of LN2 and undergoing the business end of the cryoproofing test, now in controlled venting. So, they have the fins on it too, Greg. They have the fins on the fucking thing.
Are they testing it today? Is that what that means?
No, this is just the pressure test, like the initial.
Okay.
Hey, can we fill this thing full of explosive rocket fuel and not have it explode? If yes, then rinse, repeat later on and throw it up. This is going to be the one that has 3 engines on it. It's going up to 20 kilometers. It literally does a controlled belly flop down to about 3,000 meters, where they turn the rockets back on, and then it goes like this, and then it lands. That's a technical term.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Good point, Casey Marion. Pence knows exactly what he was doing running over time, given that he came out of broadcasting. Yeah, he was running out the clock, repeating the question, going back over material so he didn't have to answer new questions.
Yep.
Yeah, he knew exactly. And by the way, like, I know we're all down on the moderator, but I, honestly, I was happy that Kamala just let him go.
Yeah.
And then she was like, let him float. Blah, 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 blah. Whap. It was just,
I mean, that's how it ended up.
Tactically, it was great.
I had to have all talk with myself as far as, because my initial reaction to your point about that, Greg, was hatred. I didn't like it at all. But at the same time, when I started thinking, okay, what could she have done differently that would have been better? I couldn't come up with anything.
Right.
So I am
she gave him this
begrudgingly. Yeah. Like if she'd have turned around
your mom in church,
right? If she'd have turned around after that one-liner and said, no, by all means, Governor, please proceed. That would have been fantastic, especially if she used the word governor. But that only would have made sense to old people who were around for the Obama and Mitt Romney debate that ended right there. Yeah.
I thought she did a remarkable job, and I thought she looked ready to be president last night. Yep. She came game prepared. She looked like a person who was ready to ascend to power. So I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Yeah. When she just laughed at him.
I didn't see that this was an actual tweet, and they got this up. They got this up on the fly. Please hold. Pun intended, Greg.
On the fly. I see what you did there.
Retroactively. I can't say that I was on purpose. But
you made a pun.
Pitching $5 to help this campaign fly.
Nice.
Somebody literally raced around like a lunatic to find Joe Biden a fucking fly swatter for this. And I am here for it.
Yeah.
What the hell is this shit? Fuck Donald Trump. I like it. Okay.
Corey made a pun.
Eddie Brisano.
11 a.m. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I like that one.
This was good too.
I chose a fly as my my profile picture. I may change to that one because that's pretty damn funny. So I really did wait for her to say, I want everyone to recognize that I'm standing on stage with the director of the COVID task force, and I have to have a plexiglass shield to protect myself from getting sick from being next to him. That's how bad their response is. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The stage was bugged. Yeah. There was one, I'm gonna find it. There was one Lincoln Project one where
with the flight of the Bumblebee. That was awesome.
Oh, that was good. But there was one I didn't get to show because it was right during the debate where it was basically like, this is Kamala Harris eating Pence for lunch. It was good. Oh shit. That's a whole thing.
Yep. Dang.
Right?
I love editorial cartoons in a time like this.
Amen.
They're so necessary. I was just thinking, I want to go back to the moderator for a minute.
Go ahead.
Having moderated events and discussions between people, never a formal political debate, I'm not sure. It's a really difficult thing. It's a really difficult thing because what you don't want to do is take over the event. It's not about you, the moderator. It's about what the people that are debating are saying, and it's very difficult to walk that balance line between being a complete asshole and taking over the event. And not what could she have done? I'll turn this car around right now because
she said in advance she could have muted him, and she should have done it a dozen times. Because by not setting precedent, the debates will always be like this now. If you do not exercise a power that you explicitly lay out that you can exercise, you are powerless. That's why I'm pissed.
Try it.
I fucking totally would. I would. I don't give a fuck. And honestly, and this is the thing, like the power dynamics there, that's why Republicans have been walking over Democrats the entire time, because when we are given power, especially in rules we all agree on, we don't fucking use it. We absolutely categorically have to start using that power respectfully, but aggressively.
Yeah.
In my clearly humble opinion.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I do. Sorry. No, I'm just being an asshole. I am finding the thing, hopefully. Man, only project fucking post a lot of shit. God damn it. I just want to get that thing. It's all the fly. Okay, we get it. Jesus Christ. Pence right now, in case anyone can't read the caption.
Yeah, I did see that. The New England Journal of Medicine.
The
New England Journal of Medicine editorial board has endorsed Biden. That has never happened in 100 years of publication. Please rid us of these idiot administrators. That's not verbatim, but that's
Senator.
That is absolutely.
Senator,
that is
that's the math.
absolutely not true. That
Is he
tax
only
bill-
cutting? Is he only going to repeal part of the Trump tax cut?
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then
Please.
have a conversation. Okay?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's like, what the fuck, man? He's like a dime store bad guy. This one right here.
Oh my God. You like it? I really like it so good.
The caption, if you can't read it, Kamala eating Pence up.
I'm serious.
he was delicious.
Anyway.
She did. She just completely dominated. Yeah.
I mean, so this is the thing, right? Like it's so refreshing hearing someone speak truth to power and Pence is drowning in his lies. Like I think like I one of my biggest failings is being an optimist when I shouldn't be. But I wonder if the Lincoln Project doesn't turn into, basically a Nicole Wallace thing.
I'm not
right?
buying it.
Maybe, and I get it. Like
Nicole
I think
Wallace has spent the last 3 years earnestly working every day to show us.
This is year one, and they're doing, all right. And this is the thing, like when we sit down with them and have a conversation around, Medicare for all or whatever, that's when we're really going to find out, right? A year from now, when we're trying to figure out the Green New Deal, the second the Lincoln Project brings up socialism or communism, they're dead to me forever because it's bullshit.
Right.
But I don't know if they will. I really don't. Like there is like a shift. And I personally believe that Steve Schmidt realizes what Rio doesn't. It's like all that shit that we pulled is why this is happening. And he's going to spend the rest of his life making up for it.
Yep. One of the things that you said last night during the debate, it was a comment you put up that I really like was that she's a happy warrior, Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so she's very much loving what she's doing right now. And isn't that, that was the Obama Biden administration.
100%.
I mean, they look, we had the Joe and Obama memes, where they were eating ice cream and, trading fake lines that we made up, but they put themselves in a position to look like they were really enjoying the job and earnestly grateful for being elected. And I really saw that in Kamala Harris last night. I saw a woman who looks like she's loving this moment and she's grateful for it. And I gotta respect that. Gotta respect it.
And somebody with a Canadian flag in their name liked this, and it's from Trump, and I want to find them and headbutt them. Mike Pence is doing great. She is a gaff machine. Like, what fucking country? And again, this is just like it's just transference now, right? Like every single thing that Trump can say that's going to be transference, that's all it's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
Kamala doesn't look or speak as if she hates us all. I mean, isn't that sad that that's our bellwether now? That's our, that's our benchmark.
Dude,
She doesn't look or act like she hates us.
This is photoshopped. Check this out. This was released 3 hours ago. I don't want to listen to it, but I'll turn the audio on in case we want to listen to it. But
Oh my god.
look at the edges on this.
Like what I've done for the military.
He's not fucking outside.
As far as the VA is concerned,
Fuck you. I don't give a fuck what you have to say about anything. Anyway, that's it. That's all on that one. They're making photoshopped green screen shit from the White House now.
If you heard this, there's a whisper. There's a whisper. John Cooper tweeted about it last night that there's consideration of him resigning.
Yeah, call me when that's real. Because I will get my hopes up so hard. It makes sense. I mean, they're gonna lose the Senate. Like it. If impeachment was going on right now, this would be the Dick Nixon moment where people walk up the hill and be like, "Hey, sir, could you please get the fuck out of here? Because we're all gonna lose. You fucking dummy." Right. But I don't even know if the Republican Party is capable of doing that anymore. Like they're a bunch of rabid psychos on a ship that is sinking, and they'll just start eating each other. And I'm just gonna sit back and buy some popcorn and let it happen because
right.
They
Myers
deserve
says
it.
you can literally see the background tonally correct during that video. You can see it like there's a green screen shadow going on back there.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave Myers. I did not see that.
Virginia, I kind of disagree. Pence did exactly what he needed to do. He provided the feedback loop for Fox and ONN, but that doesn't get them any new votes.
But that's the thing.
Right?
Like,
that's not what they needed to do.
I guess the thing is, like, this is setting the bar for Pence that please don't do any damage. I don't think he did any damage to their numbers, right? To be fair. I just want to go watch Letterkenny for hours and hours. But yeah, he didn't gain them anything, right? Like that, if that was his job, fine. Like he could sort of
bad strategy, though.
Right. And that's the thing. Like they don't have any good strategies because they fucking suck. Like that's when it comes right down to it, what do? Well, hopefully the Russians will steal it again, I guess. Okay.
Oh, I'm not saying anybody should believe he's going to resign. I'm saying there is a whisper going on. There's some deep background where people are saying. I'm not saying Jack Mariano is a doorbell licker. Other people are saying it. I'm just cautious. But it could be true. We don't know. It could be true.
Yeah, Corey's saying I'm still worried they can suppress and throw out enough votes. I mean that always has to be the worry. If it's close, that will work. But I mean, if it's a 10-point race nationally going into the election, and the average in the swing states is Biden up 5, which is where we're at, I think, right now, if not more. That's a much tougher thing to suppress and hide. And again, they're polling likely voters, right? They're not polling like maybe, I don't know if my vote is going to get suppressed, whatever. And you take like that voter suppression where people are seeing shit online that's like, you shouldn't vote because like a pox on both your houses. Have you noticed what our little family has been doing to a pox on both your houses for the last 3 years? We've been nuking the fuck out of that in every comment thread we could find because it's garbage, right?
And we've had people come around on that. People we love and care about that we thought were lost to us, or starting to message us and say, that was dumb. I'm sorry.
There you go. So
I love him for that.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And so, I would pit Democrats and angry independents and the Lincoln Project Republicans' anger and vitriol and energy against possible voter suppression as they used to do it, right? Assuming they're not doing something new that we don't know about yet, which is always possible, any day of the week. Now, like throwing out, 100,000 ballots for, like doing the Georgia, Brian Kemp bullshit where they just start throwing shit out over and over and over again. Right. That's happening, right? They're talking in some states about requiring people to come in and, sign things and like there's fuckery afoot. There really is, right? So we're gonna have to constantly be worried about that.
But also, like that Esquire article that I linked yesterday about with the guy who studies election efficacy from the University of Florida. One of the things he said is they had a problem in North Carolina where there was a county where like 20% of African American ballots were being rejected. They fixed it. like they recognized they had a problem, and they fixed it. And so that tells me that, I mean, just our local supervisor of elections, is a Republican, and I'm uncomfortable with that. But he has been extraordinarily fair-minded. He did a great job in the 2018 recounts. And I have to, I have to believe there are a whole lot of public servants like Brian Corley all over this country who are not going to let this president fuck with their process, because it makes them look like they're complicit, and they don't want that. They want to get reelected no matter which way the election goes. Right. So,
and they can read polls. That's a good point, Greg. I wanted to take a minute and read this and then just sit with it for a second again, because my optimism algorithm is kind of overdoing it this morning. I mean, he would probably claim health reasons to resign rather than lose by a landslide. Does anyone not believe that?
No, I think if he's going to resign, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
He wants to spend more time providing soup for his family. That's.
I want to donate some soup to his, well, not to his whole family, but to him and Don Jr.
No,
and
don't donate it to the homeless coalition in his name.
I was kidding.
Yeah, well,
because if I donated to them, it would be at an extremely high velocity, like an orbital velocity. Greg, you know what a can of soup can do from an orbital velocity? Not good.
It'll go through schools. Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part about The Expanse, which is a little weird now that I'm saying it, because I really love The Expanse. If you accelerate tungsten, like a ton of tungsten, to a decent, tiny percentage of C, the speed of light, and throw it at a planet, it's like all the nuclear weapons on the planet.
Yeah.
Just kinetic energy is really, really obscenely huge. Anyway, I don't know why I just went over there.
That's okay. Yeah, that I definitely the worried about the one voting place per county for ballot drop off in Texas is insane.
We should get some news from there.
There is a county, I can't remember which one, that has 169 people in it, and Harris County has 4.7 million people in it.
Houston, basically, right?
Houston, yeah, Houston is Harris County.
Texas early voting can start October 13th as planned. State Supreme Court rules, which means that they probably tried to fuck with it. Texas Supreme Court ruled against several GOP officials who pushed to keep early voting to a 2-week period during the pandemic. You fucking fucks. Thank you, Supreme Court of Texas.
The spirit of Ann Richards is alive and well.
Right?
I loved her so much. And her daughter Cecily is pretty awesome too.
Okay. All right. Let me see some more news here. That's weird.
No,
Texas High Court blocks Houston plan to offer mail ballots. When was
Say that again?
The High Court in Texas blocks Houston plan to offer mail ballots. Presumably, they were probably just going to send them out, and they got overruled. 2 million Houston voters cannot receive unsolicited mail ballot applications from local elections officials who are dramatically expanding ways to vote in November and the 3rd. Blah 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 blah. So that could have been Texas right there if they had won that one, and I'm sure they know that.
Wow.
Abbott, the governor there, also. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna comment on a comment. Go ahead.
Abbott also continues facing lawsuits, including one filed Wednesday by the Texas NAACP over his decision last week that barred Texas 254 counties from operating more than one drop-off box for absentee ballots, which forced the closure of dozens of drop-off sites in Harris County and other Democrat-led counties. Mail voting in Texas is generally limited to voters who are 65 years or older or who have a disability. In the ruling, the justice sidestepped the issue of whether mail-in voting was safer in the pandemic. Fucking clowns. Okay.
Good question. Carrie is asking, where are the Pasco County early voting locations? I'm going to link to how you can look at that. I don't want to read them all off. I'm going to drop this right in the comments. It's not every precinct, you should know. There are, I think, 12 locations. Zephyr Hills, Westlake Chapel, Land O'Lakes. Yeah, there's like maybe a dozen. And you can start early voting on Monday, October 19th. And that runs through Saturday, October 31st. So there's only like a week and a half window. and all of those early voting locations will be open between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. But if you're in line at 7 p.m., they will not stop you from voting. They will stay open until everyone has voted. There'll come a point where they cut the line off, won't let anybody new join the line. Early voting was awesome, by the way. I did it in 2018. I had no choice because there was no way I was going to be available on election day. So I voted at the big hockey rink out there in Wesley Chapel. But I would expect we're going to see lines, and we haven't seen that before. So the minute you can, as soon as you can, vote, because we want those votes tabulated as quickly as possible. We want Florida called for Biden as early as possible in the day, and I'm really excited that I can say that, and it's a thing that could actually happen.
Possibility.
Strategically, it's super, super important that Trump cannot say, "Oh, well, I won Florida. This is pretty much over." And I don't want Biden to say that either. Frankly,
no,
right?
Biden will wait. That's the thing.
We need to take the opportunity away from Trump to try and do that. So vote as early as you can. If you have a mail-in ballot now, fill it out. Take it to the supervisor of elections office. Less than 24 hours, I had a text from the supervisor saying my vote had been, registered. It doesn't mean they tabulated, but it means it's there. It's accounted for. It's in the stack to be counted. So they're very quick. But that's because it's early.
System,
if you wait until the last minute, it's going to get crowded and frantic and hectic. And if there's terrible weather on election day, right? Don't wait. Don't wait. You can early vote anywhere. Now. If you have a voter ID card, you can go to any early voting location and vote. I'm in precinct 23, which is City of Port Richey, but I voted in Wesley Chapel in 2018. No problem. Walked in, showed them my card, voted within minutes. So we want you to be able to do that. And by the way, it's so exciting to be able to vote for people that I know and love, like Danny and Danilo and Brandy Goyette. I didn't get to vote for Tammy Garcia, but I did get to vote for Kathy Lewis. This is cool stuff, man. It's an exciting year. So, yeah, Carrie, I haven't said why you're a brand new voter at 46, but I'm excited for you, man. That's a great thing. I'm super excited for you. I'm proud of you. Yeah. That's correct, Deb. They can't call anything until all the polls close. There are some states where they will not start counting ballots until the polls are closed.
Which states are those?
Pennsylvania for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. There's, I think, 5 or 6 states where that's the law. And each state has its own process and its own rules about voting. Florida's not one of those. I believe they'll start tabulating on the first day of early voting. I think the first thing that happens is all of the mail-in votes get tabulated. They won't tell us what those numbers are until election day. But the minute the polls close on election day, all of these mail-in ballots will be the first numbers that pop up. And it's going to look like Biden has a huge lead the minute that happens, because most of Trump's people are going to vote on election day. But I got to tell you, I'm just super, super excited about where we are right now.
Like the whole idea that it's going to look like Biden has a huge thing when Trump keeps calling for the election to be called that day. Like, is that really what you want? Like, that's the idea.
There you go. Okay. Well, since you posted it, Carrie is a returning citizen. She's a person that had a felony conviction from 10 years ago and couldn't vote. And she's now a voter again. And I'm super grateful and amazed that happened. I worked really hard in 2018 to knock doors for that effort.
Yeah. Check this out. This actually is a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, Corey asked if you'd pull up the electoral map. You remember the map you were toying around with last night?
I can absolutely do that. This is Ohio, right?
No, that's Wisconsin.
Oh, thanks. Where's Ohio?
Ohio is the purple one. Down to the right, the purple one.
Okay, whatever. No. I don't really give a shit. So what's this one?
That's Pennsylvania. Left of that is Ohio. Left of that is Ohio.
That's Ohio?
That's Ohio.
Yay, Ohio. So PA, and again, PA, we're up. We don't need PA to win. Like that, if it's close, that's interesting, but it doesn't really matter. This one right here states the process and count ballots before election day. This right here is fucking huge. Texas is huge as well. Colorado is a really, really good one. That used to be a swing state. It's not anymore.
California.
California's gonna be huge, right? We know that either way. Georgia's gonna be in there. Michigan's gonna be in there. You know what I mean? So like these two, what was it, Alabama, Mississippi, whatever these fucking ones are. Fuck those people anyway. What's this one right here?
West Virginia.
Oh, fuck you, West Virginia.
Not to be confused with Virginia. That's
Anyway.
Virginia.
Okay, thanks. I can
Can
thanks.
name
Thanks
them
for that.
all, I think. How about
Yeah,
that?
I suck. I'm not from here. Anyway, so I was worried this was going to be a much bigger problem than it is, and it's not. So, yay. 270 to win. Let's make a dope deal.
Yeah, that's the electoral map that that Corey was asking if you'd pull it up because we were playing with this last night. Give him Florida and Texas. Give Trump Florida and Texas.
Oh, dude, like that's not even fair.
I mean,
I just want to leave it up there for a minute. Like, we're not going to win Texas. We can't get our hopes up like that. That's crazy. But it'd be really cool if we did. Wow.
I think we could win Texas.
I think we could too. It's not crazy.
The House races are very close. The Senate race is very close.
The the House, the legislature there is really close. Yeah, I mean it's possible, man. It really is.
I've never been to West Virginia, so I don't have a dog in that fight as far as
5 electoral votes. I don't care about West Virginia.
Yeah. Okay, Corey's saying give Trump Georgia, Texas, Florida, and North Carolina.
Georgia, Texas, Florida,
Yeah.
and North Carolina. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Even this, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
I'm having some feels.
I mean,
It's been a long 4 years, family. It's been a long fucking 4 years.
so their only way to keep him in the White House
Steal it.
is to suppress and steal.
Yeah.
And I have concerns about that.
We should. That's why, like, again, we're gonna keep ranting about, don't wait till the day. Vote fucking right now if you possibly can.
Good call, Corey Elko. He says that's what I wanted to see. Good call. You're right.
Yeah.
We needed to see that this
Yeah,
morning.
amen to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm making sure everybody understands what's going on here. This is the electoral college map. This is basically how many delegates the winner of the state gets. So you're able to switch them back and forth and show what would happen if Trump won this state, that state, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Throw in Alaska, Corey. Oh, he has a lot. Yeah, he has.
Oh yeah, you already had Alaska. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I just gave him Wisconsin too.
Man,
What happens if we lose PA? That might be it. Yeah, PA is bad. If we lose PA,
but
In the-
PA's only
in this
bad if we
contract,
lose
right?
all those other things.
yeah.
right?
I'm just trying to how many more could we like? I was like Nevada. Are we gonna lose Nevada? I mean, maybe.
No,
probably
we're going to
not.
win Nevada.
And it
We're
wouldn't
gonna win
matter.
Nevada.
Look at that. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Dang.
What else do we
Uh,
want to try and lose? Can we lose Michigan? No, not quite. But Minnesota, we could. Hold on.
Nope.
That was with Michigan still gone. Minnesota, we could lose.
Wow.
So yeah, needless to say, even though there's not going to be a decision that night, I think we're probably going to go live the entire fucking time.
Yeah, we talked about that last night. I think from probably 8:00 on, which is when the polls start to close, we start getting numbers in. I think we'll probably go live from 8:00, and I'm going to stock up on edibles.
Speaking of, if there's any way that other type things could be found, I might actually just go with the other route, which would be pretty funny.
Yeah. Dave, everyone was saying the same shit about Hillary. Right. But the numbers this
No.
time, the data
No.
this time is much better for Biden than it was for Hillary.
Look at the actual comparative data. This is
The
not
math,
same.
the math checks out here.
It's not the same.
It's not just optimism. And I have to be 100% honest. I went to bed thinking Hillary was going to win. Corey didn't. Corey saw 2 or 3 days out that it was likely going to be extremely close, and it turns out.
I mean, the polling. That's why, like, every time we argue about the polling was right. The polling changed in the last 10 days because of freaking Comey. So anyway, yeah, right now, there are far more ways for us to win than for them to win. almost by an order of magnitude. At no point does that mean that Trump can't fucking pull out some weird ass fucking victory. And that's always the way. None of this is certain, which is, I get, completely and totally frustrating, but this is just not the fucking same.
All right, Don, you keep saying that. That is good, but everyone needs to get out and vote. That's my whole point. We're getting out to vote at an extraordinary, a record rate. If this trend holds, more people will vote in this election than have ever voted in an election before in American history. Back to 1908, we could break the 1908 voter turnout percentage record. So
that percentage record is important because
people are galvanized into action by what's been happening in our country, one way or the other, but mostly in the good way.
Yeah,
2.5 to 1 at this point. Democrats are returning their ballots at a much higher rate than Republicans. So that does not say that can't change. You know, they're all going to get robocalls and all sorts of stuff. No, I do understand that you're scared shitless. I get it. But
yeah, dude, and that's understandable. Have you seen the last 3 years we've dealt with? It's been fucking ridiculous. But I think a sliver of optimism right now should be allowed. Just strictly on a massive preponderance of a ridiculous amount of actual data. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, there is that. He was much earlier to come out and support Joe Biden this time, which shows me that Bernie Sanders learned something important in 2016.
Yeah, I think so.
And I like people that learn lessons.
Preach.
I like people that see what happened and change for the better. So I like that. Yeah. Well, why don't we get out of here?
Yeah, thanks for agreeing to do the extra show, and thank you to everybody else for showing up.
Carrie, if I understand correctly, there were a record number of young voters registering. For the most part, Biden has their vote. That's true. I will also tell you that on the last day of voter registration efforts in Florida, 40,000 people registered to vote because they had to extend it by a day because of the overwhelming traffic that hit that server. That's a great sign. That helps us. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So we're going to do a show tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right.
I still have a science story to share tomorrow.
Good. Cool.
About evidence of a previous universe before this one that exists in our universe right now.
Yeah, I saw a bit about that. That looks pretty interesting. And we also, there's the 130,000 year human habitation in North America story, which I don't know if we talked about on the show. That's good. We'll do some of that too.
We talk about that too.
All right, guys, we love you very much. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Sasquatch is real.